Hello and welcome to the first webinar Orbitvu ever made, and we are just about to begin. Let's give us a couple of more minutes just to people to gather. In the meantime, I want to, just in case, apologize if something goes wrong, because we are doing this for the first time using completely new environment, new system, and we are about to begin probably in 2 minutes, I guess. So we are live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So please just simply comment, put somewhere like thumbs up, or just simply tell us that you're hearing us. You can see us, at least me for a while. And I just want to know that we are good to start. Well, before we begin, I just want to introduce the backstage crew for a while. It's Mr. Robert Bloch and Ada Zilla. They are helping us on YouTube and Facebook to collect your questions if you're going to have any. So these questions going to be sent to me, and I will try to address them, or my colleague Kashif, who's going to join me in a minute. And we'll still like having 2 minutes to just let you tune in, and we are just about to start our webinar. All right, I believe we're good to go. So welcome, and we are gonna talk today about the time efficiency, about the performance in product photography, and what Orbitvu technology and equipment has to do with that, how we could be any help. And let me introduce my dear colleague from London, the head of our UK operations, Mr. Kashif Malik Najmi. And I would like to ask Kashif just to make a quick introduction about our company here.
Right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone from sunny England. Yes, the sun is out today. I sincerely hope all of you are keeping well and all of you are keeping safe. Vita, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, we hear you well. Please carry on.
Excellent. So before I start, like most of us, I am working from home today, and I have 3 young children who are being ring-fenced by their mother. But should one of them manage to escape to asking a pertinent question about like what's for dinner, I do apologize for that in advance. So I think VTech has already made the introductions. I will go over it one more time. I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you who have managed to join us today. A very warm welcome to all, each and every one of you. And the ones who did not join, we know who you are. So today, I am joined by my 3 esteemed colleagues, Vital Jurmolovic, who we just saw a couple of seconds ago. He's our global commercial manager. Then I'm also joined by Robert Bloch. He's our global product specialist. And myself, my name is Kashif Najmi, and I look after our little fiefdom of Great Britain and Republic of Ireland. So in the last couple of days, I have prepared 176 slides to go through in the next 15 minutes. No, that's a lie. So the agenda is going to be very simple. I'm going to do a short introduction, which is going to be followed up by VTech, or VTOL, who's going to showcase the art of possible leveraging our best of breed solutions. And all the while, Robert would be fielding any of your questions. I think people who are unable to join this webinar, a copy of this webinar, a recording of this will be made available at a later stage. So I'm going to kick off by a little introduction about who we are. We were established in 1997, and our headquarters is based in Tarnowski Góry in Poland. We employ around 150 employees globally. We have our physical presence in over 30 countries. We have our offices in all major European cities. And the rest of the world is actually fulfilled by a global network of distributors and resellers. We have 3,000 square meters state-of-art production facility. All of our research and development, product development, software development teams are in-house. So what that means is that everything which is produced, designed, and manufactured is done in-house, and there is no third-party dependency. Since we've been in the market for such a long time, we are the market leaders and we command the largest market share in product photography. Very quickly, a snapshot of our enterprise level customers, and there are many more of these. They wouldn't possibly fit on the screen. But a point I would like to make out is that due to our unique selling value proposition and very competitive price points, we find that a large chunk of our customers are SMEs, which is small to medium level enterprises. And I would like to relate a very quick story. I was at a trade show in Birmingham, and this guy came up to me, and he looked at one of my devices, and he said, "I'll come and see you next week." So the following week, he came with one of his colleagues, and he actually placed the order straight away. And I think he was selling shoes. And we started talking, and he said something very pertinent and which stuck with me. He said, he was a market trader. He used to sell shoes on market stalls, and then he started selling, leveraging his shoes on Amazon and eBay. And what he said to me, coming back to what I was saying, he said, "Just because I work from my shed does not mean that I cannot come across as one of the big boys online." So, that was a fantastic story. I thought I would share that with you. So what is product photography? I'm sorry, but it's almost like a patronizing question. We know that it is all about depicting accurate and attractive representation of your product. We know there's more to that. Product photography is actually the building blocks of your website. And it's a key differentiator between your website being successful or not. Historically, the biggest problem online selling has faced is the inability of the end customer to interact with the products. And we as human beings are very tactile beings, and we want to touch and feel things. And as a customer, we rely on the website to give us very good, high quality images so we can actually interact with it. So it is very, very pertinent for any website to be really, really good in terms of what they're saying. And this is backed up by the fact that 93% of consumers report that product images to be vital for their purchase decision. And that is closely followed up by the wisdom of crowds, the feedback and all those wonderful things. And I found this very interesting thing yesterday, is that the average consumer attention span has dropped to 8 seconds. That is actually 1 second slower than that of a goldfish. Go figure. So if we couple that with the fact that it takes us 13 milliseconds to recognize an image. So what this translates is that the customer only has over 6 seconds to decide whether they're going to engage with you or not in terms of doing a purchase. So there's an example at the bottom of the screen. So if you were to present a customer with images like this, which are not uniform, they are not consistent, you can't see the product, as opposed to this, who do you think the customer is going to engage with? Which brings us to the next point, is that how do we get from this to this? The answer is very simple. And I bet you thought that I was going to talk about our company offering. That's not entirely true. So we have 3 options available to you. Either you can outsource your product photography to a third party who will do it for you, or you can do it in-house, which is actually denoted over here. So if you were doing it in-house, you would have a investment of a set of equipment. Then you would have to hire a professional photographer, and you would imagine that once he's taken the image, it's ready to be uploaded. Not true. Then he has to take it away from post-production, i.e. removing the background and beautifying it and making sure that it's properly cropped to the parameters of your website, so on and so forth. So on a good day, you would be able to get your image back in 24 hours if it's internal. And if you were using a third-party agency to do that for you, we're looking around between 24 to 48 hours to a week. Or you can actually opt for this automated solution, which Orbitvu does, which actually is a culmination of all of these facets which are at the bottom of the screen in one. So all the lighting and everything is present. All you have to do is put your object in this device, click of a button, and we are good to go. So we decided to put our money where our mouth was in terms of efficiency. And one day we were really bored and we decided to bring in an independent photographer. And we actually put that against one of our devices. And the mission, should they choose to accept, was to create 6 very web-ready product images. And we wanted to quantify how much time did it take for both approaches in terms of producing this final images. And it's actually startling. You can see over here that a traditional photographer, it took him 22 minutes to photograph 6 images, which were good and ready to be uploaded, as opposed to an automated solution like ours, which only took 3.3 minutes. So in terms of on return on investment, so in theory, it takes less than 3 seconds to get a web-ready image produced out of one of our devices. That translates to you roughly being able to photograph 500 of your objects or items, times by 5 is 2,500 images, which actually translates into 1.5 million photos in less than 3 years. And cost per click is under 60 cents, which is a great saving, but it does not really end there. Because when you talk of quality, if you were to go down to this guy, whether he was internal or external, and give him an item to photograph today and ask him to replicate that again in 3 weeks' time, 9 out of 10 times he won't be able to do that unless he was very meticulously taking notes while he was taking the images. So quality and again the consistency, these are the 2 facets which I've just spoken about, are paramount. And also speed, you've just seen, 3.3 minutes against 25 minutes. And then it also helps you with the accelerated time to market, i.e. if you have a product which needs selling, it needs to go online as if of yesterday for you to be able to sell that and start getting the returns. With that, very, very quickly, this is a snapshot of all the devices which we currently have. So if you look at the far left-hand corner, it's the AlphaShot Micro, which is specifically designed for the jewelry vertical. And if you look at the far right, is an Alpha Studio XXL, which is specifically designed for the fashion industry. And everything in the middle can be covered with one of these devices. At the bottom right-hand corner, you can see 2 tables. These are specifically designed for flat photography. And this is our software. This is where the actual magic happens. So all of these devices are integrated devices, and the software, and they're software-driven, i.e. the software actually drives the hardware, all the lighting, and all the parameters which VTech is going to show you very, very shortly. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to my colleague Vitold, who's going to do a solution demo for us. Thank you very much for listening to me. Vitek, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, I think it's not now. It's going to be fine. So this is the magic of the live streams. Yeah, thank you. So thank you for being with us for this short introduction about the company and about the product line we have to offer. So I believe that, as you said, it's right time for us to move on to the magic point and show how the things are happening. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen with you as well as one of external cameras, just showing you one of the devices we're going to use today, which is going to be AlphaShot XL Pro with the 2 camera setup. So please feel free again. If you have any questions, just drop them, whether you are on the Facebook or YouTube, drop them in the chat. And our lovely staff, Ada and Robert, going to address them all. If you at some point decide to inquire for, let's say, prices or any other commercial inquiries, we're going to replay those later on after the webinar, according to your needs. So just a second, it's like moving on with the Here we are. So three camera setup is a little bit tricky thing to do, but I'm trying to do my best in order to show you. So what we're gonna do, three shots from the frontal camera, one shot from the top camera, all happening in front of you. And what I'm exactly about to do is just to press a one button, literally one button. So we have our lovely all back, and here we go. And you see the magic happens. Well, and as you can see, that's pretty much it. So we've done with the actually four images. These are from my previous session, and all of them are, let me be clear, they are removed out of the background. We have our back over here, and pretty much we're done. So now, at this point, I just want to give you a couple of a little bit of explanation what actually happened and how to achieve this kind of productivity. So if somebody wants me just to repeat that and to show you how long it takes to take four images from two different cameras, different angles, just thumbs up or just say yay, and we're going to repeat that at any point you wish. And nevertheless, I want to show you a couple features we have incorporated in our software and explain how you can get the productivity and this performance like that. Let me change just a little bit of my screen. Here we go. So first of all, if you go from left to the right, we have camera settings, we have our presets, we have everything, all the control room, let's say on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we do have the control of the turntable, and obviously we do have a preview here. Switching between the cameras, very simple. It's just a one single click. So here you can position your object and crop all the unnecessary white space around it. And obviously, we can control the lights. We can do the many of settings completely manually, just like changing the light intensity, camera settings, and so on. But this is not the key. All these camera settings, light, turntable positions, they can't be stored as a one single template. And you can actually design as many templates as you wish. So all of those settings, they are stored here. Here we are, or by green our template, it can be reused. So you might ask, what is the difference between your and equipment and some other competitive equipment? So I claim that our equipment, thanks to these all settings that can be saved as a template, can be used by also non-professionals at the same time, delivering really decent quality of the picture. Exactly the same situation when it comes to the 360 photography, because sometimes it might be confusing for some people that 360 photography is a kind of a magic. It's not magic anymore with our technology. What we can do, actually, we can simply make these things absolutely going automatically. And in order to prove that, I'm going to hit another button. So let me just switch to another camera's view, and it's going to be the left hardware button on the left hand side of the device. And what we're going to do, we're just going to do this. So at the moment, we are taking 12 pictures for our 360 presentation, which I'm going to upload to our cloud solution to be introduced in a couple of minutes. But before we're going to proceed, I just want to get through and answer and address another question we just got from the Facebook. What is the accuracy of the removing the background? Is it all dependent on the object? Well, not necessarily. I would say partially yes and partially no. We designed a couple of algorithms allowing to clip the background even while shooting so-called difficult objects like transparent bottles, for example, in order to maintain some certain level of transparency. So that's possible, and we have designed those. And obviously, as I mentioned before, those settings can be stored as a template as well. So if you, for example, have a semi-transparent item and you want to shoot, and you just create the preset and call it like a semi-transparent bottles, let's say. So next day, another person can just simply reuse it and getting the same level of accuracy. The shape itself has no impact on the accuracy of background removal. Moreover, what we are trying, this is a part of our philosophy, what we are trying to do, we are trying to combine features can be used by both professionals and non-professionals. What I mean is every single professional photographer using our device can just simply tweak a lot of options and a lot of features and adjust this really fine-tune settings according to the desired to their desire. So you can just simply change the light, you can change the camera settings, and also you can have an impact on the level of the masking shot in order to get the perfect edge and clear background removal. So let me just switch a little bit back to the interface. Once we've done with the shooting, you can move to the edit tab. And this is very streamlined interface, very simple. Capture, edit, and publish. And we get to that point in a second. And just a second, because we have some minor technical issue here. So when we go to the edit session, you see your object's clip background, and you might see there's a little bit of semi-transparency on the bottom edge of our bag. So in order to control that, I need to switch to the masking view and fine tune just simply a little bit of the levels of the mask. So the final image looks like that. When we put this on colorful background, sorry for that, here, so we basically see that the edge is absolutely clear. Just a sec. Here we go. Let's put, so we can just simply tweak the colors the way we like, and just see the final preview of what we're going to get. So as I mentioned before, if we are tweaking a little bit of the levels of the masking shot, all these settings can be also stored as a part of the preset. So in order to maintain the high speed of photo shooting, what we can do, we just simply need to group the items according to their similarities and characteristics. So if we presume that some items might cause some troubles, we may create a new preset for those with the custom level of masking equalization, and then apply these presets for that particular group, which gonna help you just to go and shoot one by one quickly. So as you can see, the first moment when we are really saving a lot of time is the creation of the presets and reusing them, since we don't need to do the manual setup every single time we are about to shoot anything. And then another thing is any customization also can be saved as a preset. So while grouping the objects, we can really get the really high efficiency of creating the graphic content here. So, and what is the next step we are here to do? So probably you're familiar with the problem when you need to have a couple of different size of images or different settings of those images for different purposes. For example, you need to have a high-res image for print and maybe lower resolution for internet purposes, or maybe you need to have some kind of third category. It doesn't matter actually how many categories and how many types of images you need, because exporting graphics from our Orbitvu station is really easy and streamlined. And what we achieved is under Publish tab, we can create a different presets here too. So what settings these presets are keeping in? So all secrets are here. I'm not going to bother you going through all the tiny details in the settings because we have plenty of them. However, the basic of them, where the image is going to be stored, what is the size of the image? Are those dimensions are fixed or they not fixed? Do we need to compress the image? What format we need? We can store this as a PNG. We can store this as well as a JPEG. And for those looking for the ability to store the images for later post-processing, we can just simply offer you as well storing this image in some particular cases as PNGs with the alpha channel and TIFFs. Moreover, while you're shooting, what you can do, let me just get to the preview mode again. So if you, for some reason, need quickly just to figure out if there's anything to be fixed in Photoshop or something, even though we are trying to keep you away from any editing software, you can always go here to the file information, and here you have highlighted the image file name. This is the temporary name. So you can just simply quickly refer to that, take a look in or open in other software, save it, and later on reuse it again. Uh, Hello, that's another question coming from the chat. Is it possible to have 3D view from all angles or only 360 view? Well, yes, it is partially possible. Why partially? Because since we do have the object standing on a turntable and turntable rotates, that means we can create the different angles from top some cameras and just make them work all together while creating the, let's say, almost 3D image. So I believe that answers your question. Even for that particular for that particular scenario, we have designed another device, and let me try just to get to another external camera and turn in. So Rob, can I help you? That's another camera with me, or maybe you're gonna show this the 3D arm we've designed. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. So just a second, we're going to plug another cam here. This tiny camera we have. Right. So Rob is about to show you, you see in the tiny screen on the right bottom corner, this is the 3D arm. We can just simply connect 5 cameras for that and make this 3D imaging happen auto magically. Thank you, Rob. Okay. So if you guys have any further questions, please drop them in chat. But in the meantime, what I want to do, I just want you to experience our green bag wherever you are right now. So what I'm going to perform, I'm going to take a couple of 360s, maybe one 360 presentation consistent on, let's say, 12 frames here. And then I'm going to share the QR code with you, so you can just simply using your mobile phones scan it and just see it online. So if somebody still let's say skeptical about the productivity, let me just give you a moment just to start on your timer and see how fast we can get 12 shots consistent, each shots consistent on 2 others, so masking and the regular one, background removed, or everything's happening on the fly. So here we go. So while our machine is taking pictures, let us this just process to get finished. There is another question from one of our colleagues from Turkey. Is 3D ARM is on sale now? Yes, this is available. So if somebody is interested in 3D arms, please just drop us an email or use the contact form on our website, or just reach us out on Facebook, let's say using the messenger service. Can you show another question? Can you show the option to save images as PNG, please? Yes, I can do that again. Just let me a second. I will, while I'm going to finish and upload this 360, and then I will get back to PNG files issue. Okay. So, all right, let's go to see publish 360s. Okay, I'm just going to go to 360s. So we have a preview here. So before we upload this online, we can just simply have a preview. So it looks quite fine. What I'm gonna do, I'm just simply going to upload this to my cloud account. So let me just a second to share with you another window of mine. So, okay. Just a sec. This is me having all these issues with the sharing screen and getting sometimes a little bit lost while having this transmission online. Okay. Probably it's going to be easier for me to share the screen. Just a sec. Woohoo! This is me getting somehow lost with that. All right, I'm going to share with my colleague the direct link we have for that, so you can just all of you click that direct link. This is how good boys getting lost in progress. Yeah, here we go. We have this right now. All right, Rob, I'm going to pass a link to you so you can just simply share it. Ada, I'm going to pass this link to you, so please publish those links on chat on Facebook and YouTube. That being said, so guys, you're gonna be able to grab it from the chat on our social media. Yeah, here we go. So next questions, yeah, PNG files. Let me address that. So when you want to export the PNG file, all you need to do when you go to the publish settings in the export, and you have, for example, here, we have for still images. So the type is still image here. In the settings of the publish profile, you have this ability to choose between JPEG and PNG files, right? So as you know, PNG files will be saved with the alpha channel, most probably uncompressed, but it depends up to you. So you can just simply adjust the compression level, and then you can just simply export them either on the cloud service we offer or just simply locally to the desired destination, so you can grab them from there and reuse for any purpose you have. I hope that helps. And another question is, do you need any particular hardware for the best possible quality? What type of camera and any particular laptop PC? Well, most of the tech specs you're gonna find in on our website However, usual the average setup it depends on the purpose of the images you are about to take. So if you're looking for like high quality images of let's say jewelry, right? So that definitely implies using of the full frame camera and a macro lens. And obviously, when it comes to create let's say really high quality pictures, it means that a lot of data going to be transferred from camera to the computer. That being said, SSD hard drive would be really a good advantage, and a little bit more of memory in the computer. Our software works on both Macs and PC. I've been using myself on quite average configuration of Mac recently. Our software it was pretty fine. Basically, 8 gigs of RAM should be enough, and a little bit of space on the quite fast hard drive. That's enough. So speaking of the camera compatibility, we are at the moment we are supporting Canon DSLR cameras in the list of the compatible models you may find on our website. Just please go to the orbitvu.com, scroll down, and in the left bottom corner, you will see the camera compatibility chart. And then if you have any camera right now, you can just simply check whether it's compatible or not. But most of the modern Canon DSLR cameras are compatible. All right. Next question was, hello, is it possible to create 3D models? No. And let me be clear on that. We are about mostly to support e-commerce industry. We are about to support e-commerce trade, where the picture is the main content being created across the world, pictures and videos, obviously. So it's not our domain to create 3D models for using them later on in CAD CAM software. I believe you can use the series of picture we create with some of the Autodesk software, allowing you just to simply stitch them together and on the basis of those images to create 3D models. That happens to me personally. I had the customer looking for this kind of solution. And yes, I know on the market there are other solutions offering 3D models, but accuracy of those models and mesh models, let's say, there is quite disputable. So we are not doing that. That this is not what Orbitvu about. We are about to creating graphic content for e-commerce, mostly industry, but not only. Do we have any other question, Rob? We don't. All right. So let me get back to the point of export profiles here. So the thing is, depending on how many you have destinations and type of images you want to and size you want to create, you can create as many export profiles as you wish. At the same time, just tickle those of them simultaneously and with the one single click. Export those images, different destinations, different locations, different size, whenever you want, and there is no pretty much limit on that. So you can simply use those profiles, and one profile can store images locally on your hard drive. Yet another one can simply upload this to your e-commerce website. So let me mention here another thing, which is integration with other solutions. So, for example, if you are using Magento, PrestaShop, Shopify, WooCommerce, we've designed a lot of different type of plugins, which can be bought separately, and you can simply directly integrate the software. Basically, what you see right now on my screen with your online e-commerce solution, which with the one click will allow you just to upload all this content and use this directly on your website. For those people using different engines like e-commerce engines, we have also good news. We actually created this system called Orbitvu Sun, which is our cloud solution for sharing and embedding. So it works pretty much the same as let's say YouTube. So you can just simply copy a bit of code and paste it in the product description. And most of the time, depending obviously on the configuration of your solution, you will be able under the product description to embed pictures and 360 images on your website straight away. So that being said, as you've seen, it takes, if the solution is properly configured, it takes literally seconds just to get your product online. Guys, we are already 42 minutes talking about Orbitvu stuff. I'm really happy to have you here. If anyone has any other questions we can have, we could address right now, please don't be shy. Put them on the chat, and we will be happy to do so. In the meantime, let me just like 30 seconds to sort out issue with the screen sharing, which I encountered in the meantime. So I will be more than happy to start showing you a little bit more about our online cloud solution, if you don't mind. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I believe we're good now. Almost there. Yes, finally. I managed to figure out how it works. So just let me just put this in the proper order. Yes. So I believe you should be able to see this right now. So as promised, I want to show you a little bit more about our online sharing and embedding solution. So every single customer of Orbitvu has a one unique point where you can register your device, you can check your your presentation, you can check your warranty. So all the information you need, you can just simply grab from one account. And on this account, you also have a fantastic knowledge base we've built with the step-by-step tutorials designed by my colleague Robert, by the way. So if somebody just got lost in the process of learning, you can always refer to that of having the access to this account. Every single our customer has the one. So regardless if you use this for purpose of storage or not, all the informations about your account, your device, warranty, technical support are available here. As you can see, this is our presentation. I can scroll my back, left, right. Yes, and as mentioned before, here you can just simply grab a piece of code if your system is not integrated, whether with our cloud or our software. You just simply can use that piece of code and embed it directly, or you can just simply generate a QR code. I hope you will be able. I'm not sure, Robert. Are we able to see that QR code on screen right now? Just let me check because we have a little bit of latency. Uh, Let me just try if I can scan it myself, so I make sure that our guests are able to scan it too. Yes, it works perfectly. I just checked with the robot screen. So you can try to scan this QR code with your mobile phone and you can see exactly the back I just photographed online available, and simply turn it and spin it anyways. All right, we got another question. How to publish bigger quality PNGs? I'm always taking very small PNG. Yes, it's enough for online, but it's not enough quality for retouching using Alpha channel, I believe, or Alpha XL2. Oh, okay, so basically, let me address two issues here in this question. The size of PNG file does not depend on what type of Orbitvu machine you use. That depends on two factors: on the camera resolution, so you can get the really high camera resolution as much as you can take from camera, basically, or you can change that resolution back in publish profiles in the first tab, exactly where you can just put the dimension. The question is, and I think that's something really to reconsider, why do you need PNGs for post-processing if you can simply use layered TIFF, which is much more convenient while working with Photoshop? Just a hint for you, you can try. But yes, if you have too small resolution, please refer to the first tab in export profiles. and then you check the resolution settings you have there. Yes, probably the most important question: what is the price of a basic setup? As Kashif presented this on the very beginning, we have quite extensive lineup of the products. So depending on the size of the product and the type, because we have different variations, the prices are different. So there is a one price for Alpha Shot Micro, which is meant and designed for jewelry industry, and there's completely different price tag on Alpha Studio Double XL, which is designed for fashion industry, and at the same time oh gosh, wow, audio lost. Yeah, I think we are good now. Apologies for that. So let me get back to the previous questions, because I believe that was the moment when we lost the connection. Unfortunately, these are pros and cons of live streaming. So the question was, I see that you offer a hanging solution. How do I remove the ropes? Well, you can use the fishing wires, which are transparent pretty much, and they blend with the background, and can be removed easily without any trace. So that's easy to do. Another question was before, I'm not sure when we lost the audio. It was about the pricing. What is the price of the basic setup? As I mentioned, we have different setups for different industries. Alpha Shot Micro for jewelry, for example, it's one thing. Alpha Studio Double XL is the second. Completely different worlds, different price tag, different sizes. So if you're interested in particular solution we have to offer, please do not hesitate to drop us an email. You can do it by info at orbitvu.com, or just refer to the contact tab on our website, which is orbitvu.com. Please fill out the form, tell us where you live, and we are going to get back to you in no time with all the answers for all your questions you might have. Okay, do we have anything else so far? All right. That's yes, about ropes. We actually answered that already. So far, we don't have any other questions. I just want to check up with Ada, who's observing our chat on YouTube, if we have anything else. So let's make it this way. Within 30, 40 seconds, if there's no more questions, we're going just to wrap it up. Yep. All right. And before we're gonna do, I just want to ask Kashif to say also some final words, if you don't mind, Kashif. Just a second. Yes, Kashif, we see you now, and
Yes.
let me check on the
Thank you.
sound.
Thank you
Yes,
very
sound.
much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Vitol. That was really informative, very insightful. I'm just going to echo what you said earlier on. Should you want any further information regarding our devices, please reach out to us via our website, and we shall get back to you in a jiffy. Uh, Once again, thank you very much for being here. Your presence is really appreciated. And again, if you have any questions, you can either reach us directly or via the website. Find parting words. Look after yourself, look after your loved ones, and hoping to speak to you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kashif. Thank you, Robert, for supporting us. Thank you, Ada. So, guys, if you have any other questions, please feel free just to contact us, as Kasia mentioned. I believe that's it for today. And hopefully, we're going to see you again soon. Basically, we have in mind another couple of topics we want to share with you, more, I would say, industry specific. And pretty much by Monday, we're going to announce a new dates and new topics we are going to discuss over our social media channels. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe and goodbye. See you next time.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.